Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will introduce myself. My name is Ristriardani. My number student is 212409091. I am a student of Psychology Faculty. And now I will explain English assignment from Mr. Budiantoro. This is first assignment. I will share screen for this topic. Okay, yes, for this assignment, it's lesson 1, sole proprietorship. And this is a dialogue for this lesson. This is a dialogue between John and Carol. And first, John said, "Hi, Carol. How are you?" "Fine, thanks, John. How are you?" "Fine. It's good to see you." "You too. I'm glad you have time to talk today." "Sure." And Carol said, "I'd like some advice." And John said, "Well, I'd be happy to help in any way I can. You know, I have been designing clothes for quite a while and I've always been interested in fashion. I'm thinking of starting my own business, boutique. I think you might have a good idea. Well, I need to learn about the responsibilities of going into business. Are you going into this business by yourself? Yes, I'd like to have a company with my name on it, where I make the decisions and where I control the profits. And John said, "You seem determined, so I'll try to help you. If you go into business alone, it's called a sole proprietorship. In this case, you probably won't even need a lawyer to form the business. You can start or stop the business whenever you like." And Carol said, "That's cool. What other encouraging things can you tell me, John?" For the time, John tell to Carol, "You don't have to consult partners or a board of directors, so you can put your policies into effect quickly. You decide on your vacation, our salary, hiring, and firing." "Oh," Carol said, "it sounds cool." But John said, "Wait a minute. I feel I have to tell you about some of the risks involved too." "Wow, what kinds of risks?" says Carol. "The most important risk to remember is that you have unlimited liability. This means that you are responsible for all your business debts. Does that mean that I have to declare personal bankruptcy if the business fails?" "Exactly," said Jones. "You could lose personal assets." And Carol said, "It sounds frightening. What else should I know?" John said, "You won't get some of the tax benefits other types of business get. Do you have financing? That's usually difficult for a small business to get." And Carol said, "Yes, I know. Fortunately, that's taken care of. By the way, do you know of a good accountant to do my taxes?" "Sure. You will also have to hire a bookkeeper unless you think you can do your books yourself." "I'm not sure about that yet. I have to think about it." "What else, John?" "Well, before we get into other things, why don't we have a cup of coffee?" As Carol said, "As usual, you have a good advice, John." That's a conversation about John and Carol. And next we do an exercise one, structural practices. Now take the sentence from the conversation. I'm thinking of starting my own business. And the example from the sentence, start my own business. And we can make the sentences, I'm thinking of starting my own business. Let's do for number one, open a boutique. So we can say, I'm thinking of opening a boutique. Number two, call a lawyer. We can say, I'm thinking of calling a lawyer. Number three, pay my taxes. So we can make a sentence, I'm thinking about paying my taxes. And number four, sell my shop. We make a sentence, I'm thinking of selling my shop. And number five, hire an employee. We can make a sentence, I'm thinking of hiring an employee. And number six, file for bankruptcy. So we can make a sentence, I'm thinking of filing for bankruptcy. And number seven, manage it myself. So we can make a sentence, I'm thinking of managing it myself. And number eight, the last is fire my accountant. We can make a sentence with, I'm thinking of firing my accountant. The next is a reading. In this lesson, we can reading some sentence, okay? A business may be privately owned in three important forms. These are the sole proprietorship, the partnership, and the corporation. The sole proprietorship is the most common in American business. More than 60% of all businesses in the United States are sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorships, however, don't do the greatest volume of business. They account for less than 16% of all business receipts. What kind of business is likely to be a sole proprietorship? These small businesses are very often service industries such as laundromats, beauty shops, repair shops, and restaurants. And there are comprehension question. Number one, what are the three ways that businesses can be privately owned? These are the sole proprietorship, the partnership, and the corporation. And number two, what form do most American businesses have? The sole proprietorship is the most common in American business. And number three, what form do most businesses in your native country have? The corporation is the most common in my country. And number four, do sole proprietorship make the most money? That is, do they have the greatest volume of business? Yes, they do. And this is the last exercise about vocabulary practice. From the words list below, select a word to fit each blank space in the sentence. Use each word only once. Number one, a sole proprietorship is very often a small business that deals in a service. Number two, the service industries don't manufacture products. And number three, 84% of all business receipts are not from sole proprietorships. And number four, less than 20% of American business partnership or corporation. And number five, sole proprietorships accounts for only a small part of all business transaction. Number six, our bank is not publicly owned, it's privately owned. And the last number 7, there are 3 important forms of business ownership. Okay. That's my assignment, first assignment from English. This is from Mr. Pudiantoro. And thank you for Mr. Pudiantoro, and thanks for watching my video. Bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.